to an unchanged 11. But just glance on the bench there. Finally, the return of striker Esther Okoronkwo. Only played 2 games this season, but she's finally fit enough after a knee injury to come back on the bench. We may see some minutes from her today. At the back, Sarah Rollins has played every minute this season. Toronto unbeaten in their last 3, so I asked her about the importance of continuing momentum today.
I mean, momentum's always important. I think it's good to keep up a good streak of not losing and being undefeated. So yeah, keeping that up and not letting goals scored against and trying to get more goals is definitely something that we're on the path to.
You've played every minute this season. You've been rock solid defensively, but I know the coach wants more goals. Those things don't naturally happen all the time. So how do you manage the game? How do you stay patient, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important for the back line to hold the ideals and hold our values as a defensive back line, no matter if we're getting goals scored or not. Just keeping it solid always and trying to get clean sheets every game is just something that you've got to just keep in mindset and keep disciplined, even though it can get frustrating sometimes.
Thank you, Sarah. Enjoy the game and good luck today. Vancouver Rise are the champions for a reason. They had an uncertain start to the season. That's putting it mildly, but we're beginning to see some of their class recently, Jess.
We definitely are, and in this last match against the Tides, it was a bit of a lull at the start. Both teams really struggled. It looked dull, but after the Rise was able to score, they switched the momentum. They came out hard. They were on the Tides at all times, but when the tide changed a little bit and they were able to find the equalizer, we saw Vancouver on their heels. So can they find consistency when that momentum shifts from the first minute to the 90th? And I think a player that's going to play a massive role today, Nigel, is Latifa Abdu. The last time they met Toronto, she was a contributor both times. She scored the first goal and she led to that PK that Quinn was able to bury later in the match. So this is a player that's going to come alive behind that AFC back line, but also in between the seams.
A little mini drought for Latifa Abdu, hasn't scored in the last 3 appearances. That could change today. She will inevitably lead the line alongside the dangerous Jess DiFilippo and Anais Ulabi. 3 changes, by the way, to the Rise team. Jessica Wolf returns in goal, Surieka into the back 3, and the Colombian Calamina Reyes into midfield. There is no Quinn today. I mentioned Ulabi there, breaking her way into the team. Now she's got her first goal. I had a chance to talk to the young Algerian international a little earlier. Anais, you've broken your way into the team. Now you've got your first NSL goal. Things are looking really good for you and getting better on a weekly basis, I think, for the Vancouver Rise. Tell us about what's been happening so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working since last year. So it's been great to have some minutes this year, and obviously that goal. My goal is always to try to help the team, and we're trying to fight our way back up the standings. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the best start to the season, but we've seen in recent weeks a marked improvement. I guess you and your teammates are feeling that as well, and feeling that improvement in confidence.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, so we're not stressed about that. We're going to lose points, we're going to win points. That happens, and from now on, we just keep going forward and just trying to win as many games as we can.
Anais, thanks for your time. Enjoy the game today. Sun is shining at Swangard, around 20 Celsius as the teams emerge from the tunnel. Kickoff is next between the Vancouver Rise and AFC Toronto.
Hi, I'm Diana Matheson, legend of the field and founder of the Northern Super League. Are you wondering where to watch Northern Super League matches live this season? Confused by TV networks, channels, streams, and schedules? You could visit nsl.ca and download the 2026 schedule to your smartphone, but who's got time for that? Not me. That's why we're introducing the 2026 Northern Super League game schedule hotline. Just dial 1-833-NSL Live and we'll tell you where to watch every match. It's simple, it's easy. It's like the opposite of AI. No, seriously, call it. They made me pre-record all the weekly messages, and we have like 80 matches.
Call the NSL schedule hotline now. 1-833-NSL Live. That's 1-833-NSL Live. It's free. It's real. And yes, you can leave us a message. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us your favorite team. Tell us why everyone should watch the Northern Super League. Call now. Find out where and when to watch and tune in.
It is week 10 of the Northern Super League. We're at Swangard Stadium in Burnaby, BC for a replay of the 2025 NSL Championship game. Vancouver Rise came from behind on that fateful night in November to beat AFC Toronto by 2-1. This time the Rise have home advantage. They are all in black and will attack the goal to your right in this first half against the all light blue jerseys of AFC Toronto. 8th all-time meeting between these two. Vancouver have won 4, Toronto 3. There has been 1 tie. There has never been a 0-0 draw. And as I mentioned in the preamble, this is usually a game that produces goals. So if you're a neutral or you just like seeing goals scored, as the ball is played all the way across the 6-yard box, maybe this is the game for you.
Well, you look at the players that are on the field and the quality that both these teams have in their attacking half. You have players like Abdu and DiFilippo. You also have Hunter, you have Rowe, you have Strategakis, you have Small. There's so many names that we can talk about that have the ability to find the back of the net and create chances and be so dangerous. So without a doubt, Nigel, I think we're in for some goals today.
Early chance for AFC Toronto on that left-hand side from the corner quadrant. Plenty forward in light blue, hoping to give Toronto the early momentum. And that was dangerous. And indeed, goalkeeper Jessica Wolf watched it whisk by her far post. Either she got her angles absolutely spot on, or she was leaving it for one of her defenders. But no harm done. Wolf usually gets plenty of distance out of those kicks, up to halfway. Third meeting of the season between these two. You mentioned Abdu, who scored in both of them. 1 win and 1 loss as far as that is concerned. So really not much to choose between them. And it's slightly strange to glance at the current standings. I know we're only a third of the way through the season, but to see Vancouver, the champions, 4th, Toronto 5th, as we glimpse Marko Milanovic, and you had a chance to talk to him yesterday, and he really didn't pull any punches about what his team needs to do in these next few games.
Yeah, I mean, he was clear. He said that he was not pleased with the fact that they've been struggling. They've been a little poor in the final third. He's happy with the amount of chance creation they have. Obviously, that is a plus to this team. Again, speaking about the quality that they have in their players from the back line all the way through to that forward line. So definitely a very quality team, but he also said that defensive organization is going to be massive for them today. That is what hurt them the last time they met the Rise.
3-4-3 formation for the Rise. There's Mia Pante, who essentially plays as a left-sided wing-back for the Rise. But do keep an eye, as we've mentioned, on Jessica DiFilippo, really on form of late. 3 goals and an assist in her last 5 appearances. Abdu we've mentioned, and as we introduced you to a few moments ago, Anais Oularbi, born in Algeria, came to Montreal as a youngster, but is already part of the Algerian national team and scored her first goal last time out, twist and a shot. And Sophia Mana, the Finnish goalkeeper, got solidly behind it.
You'll see another look at it here, but what Abdu can do when you give her just a little bit of space, she doesn't strike this well enough to test Manor, but she gets herself in a position to be able to strike on frame, which is a great start.
Colby Barnett on the left-hand side. Again, the wing-backs being employed, wearing 31 for AFC Toronto. And Sarah Rollins, who's played every single minute and has given it away to Abdu. Never a good idea. Big chance. And over the top in the end, I think, from Kaylee Hunter. After, I beg your pardon, from Jess DiFilippo. After it rebounded from the shot from Abdu, who really should have scored.
Well, let's take another look at this, because Latifa Abdu typically is finding the back of the net with this. DiFilippo not able to stay over it, ends up getting over top of it and hitting it over the bar. But Sarah Rollins needs to clean it up back there. You cannot play with the ball. I know she did get rid of it. She played it into Chisholm. But in the instance that there is a deflection, as we just saw, you have two very dangerous Vancouver players running straight at your keeper.
Well, big chance inside the first 4 minutes. And I guess the question is whether Vancouver will rue that opportunity, because you would have put your house on either Abdu or on DiFilippo to follow up and give the Rise a priceless early lead, which they failed to do. So Toronto FC, AFC Toronto, I beg your pardon, dodge an early bullet and have a chance to play their way into the game, settle down and impose their own game on the champions. That'll go all the way back to Mana to try and play their way out of the back, but another careless possession turns it over to Vancouver. Ularbi wanted to get on with it quickly, but we'll wait for Pante.
But also that pressure from the Rise deserves a nod as well. You saw that cohesion between Abdu and DiFilippo to really apply that pressure to Manor and force that back line to just ultimately kick it out of bounds.
Rise have it again. Camilla Reyes back in the starting lineup. Reminding you that there is no Quinn in midfield for Vancouver Rise today. They came off at half-time in the last game and not available for this game. And Quinn, of course, such a major influence, both defensively and in transition to get the Rise going. But they've got to do without them today.
They absolutely do. It's big shoes to fill, but we do know that this side has some great depth, right? So that's where Reyes is able to step in. You have Stanton, who has a lot of quality as well as experience in the midfield. So I think that they will be okay. It will definitely be a struggle, but they have the ability to, everybody has the ability to step in there and make things happen for the Rise.
Back three for the Rise there. Yeka, Cowarts, and the Australian Tori Tumeth, who is wearing the captain's armband and is going to be called into action here most likely, as Hunter tries to play in Lauren Rowe. Just a little too much on it, but you could see what she was trying to do.
It's a great idea, and we know the distribution that Kaylee Hunter is capable of. She sees those windows. Even when there's a very small window, she has the ability and finds that spot. She's able to play those balls through with great precision. So yeah, just a little bit over hit from her perspective, but most definitely the right idea. Next time I'm banking on her being able to land that one.
Just one goal so far this season for Kaylee Hunter. That's an issue, again, you addressed with Milanovic yesterday in terms of the mentality or the mental strength, I guess, of strikers who, for one reason or another, the goals are not coming, and how you get over that little hump.
Yeah, it's difficult. I think anybody that's ever played in a forward position has been there, right? You go into a little rut, and then you cannot break out of it, and sometimes that's because you have this added pressure. You almost think too much at times, so it's about taking that pressure off.
DiFilippo and Abdu again heavily involved in the early going and about, trying to keep the ball in play. Is it going to stay in play? It will for the time being. And booted clear. Tumeth. And playing sweeper-keeper is Jessica Wolf. Still looking for her first clean sheet between the sticks for the Vancouver Rise. Morgan McCaston also not available for the Rise today, the Golden Glove winner from 2025. Yeah, I mean, they're only human beings, they're athletes, but there is that momentum and a situation where if the goals aren't coming, you start perhaps to overthink it and overcomplicate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say that normally, once they do break that rut, they're on a roll, and they just continue to score from there.
Strikers are streaky. We know that. Into the area. Challenge came in. It was a fair one forward again, but too close to the keeper. And comfortable for Mana. Suriyeka on that far side. Mana chips it up towards halfway. Half chances at both ends of the field. And Abdu again, trying to break through. Abdu this time. Mana to the rescue a second time. Can they keep it going? Just meant into the path of Ulabi, but she couldn't get purchase on it.
Toronto coming up lucky a couple times. Manor doing really well as well, standing up strong, keeping this out of the back of the net. But Abdu really showing what a handful she truly is. Gets in behind, is able to break those lines, take on more than one defender. She's always up for the physical battle. So a really very special player, Nigel. I'm excited that we get to watch her play today. I think that there is potentially one in the tank for her because of this early on. We're already seeing her come alive.
Standen battling for possession for the home team, but Toronto make their way forward. Only as far as the Rise goalkeeper, 21-year-old Jessica Wolf from Japan. This is JC, Jessica Cowett for Tumouth. Trying to feed it down the line, but out of play into the arms of Anja Heiner-Muller, head coach of the Vancouver Rise. Tumouth with the throw. Filippo dove in and legally, according to the referee, Stanton picks up the loose ball. Here is Suriyeka. Stanton again, not on the same page. Toronto taking over. Rowe almost got in between Yeka and Cowett there. And had she managed to take that in stride, she'd have had a clear run on goal. Slightly dangerous moments of uncertain defending at both ends of the field.
Yeah, we most definitely have seen that. But I do also just want to talk about for a second, if you look at the defensive organization of Toronto, that was something that Milanovic spoke about, and he said it was going to be key. It was going to be the biggest key because he knew that in offense they could create chances, and then he had that belief that they would find the back of the net. But defensively, they struggled a little bit the last time they met this team.
Nikki Small weaving, slaloming run, finds Barnett. Chance to keep it going. Cathro. Plenty forward for AFC Toronto. Need to play it a bit quicker and then forced into an error and disappointingly turned it over midway inside the Vancouver half of the field. Abdu again using her strength and physicality. Shield the ball with her body. Cowett finds Tumouth.
We're seeing Toronto drop in that mid block, at times a low block as well. Instead of just applying that high pressure, which we've seen them do time and time again throughout the season, they're picking their moments, they're saving their legs, and this allows them to really stay together, more compact, but also deal with those balls in behind, which we've seen get through a couple times already to Abdu.
Ulabi was ready to make her run up the left-hand side, but ball came back centrally. They'll hold on to it. Tumouth just prods it forward. Bout keeps it going. And Bout again, battling for possession on the right-hand side. Here comes the support. Tumouth. Stanton now. Often takes a lot of the set pieces. Watch out for that. Back for the Australian. Toronto compared, ready to just hold those lines. Vancouver trying to play in between them.
And this is where that pace of pass is so crucial, especially when you have a Toronto team that isn't looking to bite.
Tumouth with the ball forward, looking again for Abdu. Too many Toronto shirts, and then just a kick from behind from the Montrealer. Rightly penalised, it'll be a free kick.
You see that look from Tumith is again, she finds Abdu making that run. Not able to get there, ends up fouling Barnett, who does well to try to drive forward and get it out of the danger zone. But we know Latifa Abdu is not backing down from a fight.
Sort of player a defender hates, because she just makes a nuisance of herself. She keeps you honest, and she scores goals and assists as well, but you can never relax when you're playing against a player like Abdu.
You certainly cannot. She is always ready to pounce, and she will hurt you if you make a mistake. If you give her even an ounce of room, she's going to create something out of it. Whether she's the one finding the back of the net, she's creating something for her teammate, but she will definitely, as you said, keep you honest, Nigel.
Rollins, away from Abdu, decides to go long. He's in the general direction of Lauren Rowe, but too much on it, and first bounce out of play. So it's back with Cowart. Not much will happen, depending on who wins this, because of the Tide's win in Calgary. So if Vancouver were to pick up 3 points today, they would still stay fourth in the standings, a point behind Halifax. If Toronto were to come out on top, they would actually leapfrog Vancouver into fourth place. But as we mentioned, it's barely a third of the way through the regular season. There's a lot of soccer to be played between now and November. But two teams that know each other well. Barnett, the American wing-back, not enough on it. And DeFilippo inside, Reyes. Now and about from Cambridge, Ontario.
The Rise calmly playing amongst their back line.
Abdu trying to swing it over her shoulder. Tumith will chase that down. Well, after a hectic first 5 minutes, we've somewhat reached a state of calm. Both teams, you feel, just feeling each other out. Stanton, uncertain, Small takes it away from her. Rowe was trying to turn, and Reyes will bring it clear. Abdu coming deep to get involved. Card for Tumith. Just run out of play. About trying to turn and take the ball in stride. But Barnett had done just enough. Ashley Cathro came back into the lineup last weekend in that 1-1 tie against Ottawa.
Well pressed by DeFilippo.
A game in which Ottawa scored inside the first 3 minutes, but their lead lasted barely 3 minutes before Lauren Rowe equalised. 2 goals in the first 7 minutes. I was expecting a barn burner, and yet that was the end of the scoring within the first 10 minutes of the game. But you did reference it, and I worked that game, and goodness me, Toronto had so many chances to go on and win that game, hence the frustration from Milanovic.
Yeah, 21 shots is a lot. You have to be able to capitalize and bury at least a few of them, especially when they are golden chances. It's not, you know, half chances from 30, 40 yards out. They're inside the 6-yard box. They're tap-ins, they're breakaways. Those are things that you need to clean up.
And the players have been made perfectly well aware of what he expects. Larby on the left. Plays the give and go. Looking for Abdu. Looked like she was bundled over. Referee saw nothing wrong. Referee, by the way, is the experienced Miriam Marcotte, FIFA referee from Quebec. Surieka, the calls to the back line today. Cowart, cleverly, away from Hunter, or forward. Jordan Brewster on the right-hand side of that back three for Toronto.
Former teammate of mine, a West Virginia Mountaineer.
There you go.
It's great to see her in the league. Really talented player, extremely athletic. She's got a great IQ as well. Physically, she does not back down from any battles, and she's also a great leader. So it's definitely a great pickup for AFC Toronto. They have quite a young team, so adding someone like Brewster to step in there and add a bit of leadership and experience is definitely great.
Had some experience in Mexico the last year or 18 months before deciding Canada was her next port of call. That's an interesting ball chipped in, and Wolf started to come. Cowart took responsibility. It's neat and tidy from Vancouver as they look to play their way out. Stanton and Reyes. De Filippo looking for the run of Anna Bout, who's somewhat isolated, needs some help, waiting for the cavalry to arrive, and wins a corner, I fancy.
It's well done from Bout, and I think this is a player that has grown so much throughout the year. Nigel, she has so much pace to her. She has such a great mentality and a bravery when she's going forward in the attack. She has that tenacity that you want in your forwards, in your players. Just somebody that has it all as far as working hard and work rate in that mentality.
Looked like Tumeth is appealing that there was a handball there. Marcotte was well placed and decided there was nothing to punish. So Reyes, the Colombian, inside. Come back for Bout. Can she keep it in? I fancy it'll just beat her to the dead ball line, and it will be a goal kick for AFC Toronto. Just get the sense that Vancouver Eyes are warming to their task and beginning to apply some pressure, notwithstanding the fact that Abdu's been twice through one-on-one with Mana and failed to finish. Bout again might take the shot on. De Filippo keeps it in, side netting.
You see De Filippo running and racing to keep that in bounds, tries to cut it. I believe she was trying to cut that back, but just wasn't able to wrap her hips around it in a timely manner.
So the restart. AFC Toronto will try and play their way out. Barnett under pressure. That wins the throw.
Nice double team from De Filippo and Bout.
Rowe won it, but pushed her opponent in the process, so it'll be a free kick for the Rise, spotted by Miriam Marcotte. Well, I spotted it from up here, so I'm sure the referee had no problem. Yeka bring it forward, options left and right. Just keeps going herself. Pante on that far side, trying to cushion it for one of those attackers. Important for Vancouver they keep this going as Bout tries to go round the outside, keeps it in and beats her opponent. That's clever. Now there are possibilities, but not the final contact. And it'll be a free kick for the visitors. I think it was, well, was it Reyes or De Filippo who dove in there trying to make the telling touch right
Let's
here?
take another look at that.
It was De Filippo.
Can she stay on her feet? That's the question there. There's no need to go to ground. She potentially could have timed it well and struck right through that and beat the Toronto defender.
Gather moments of uncertainty in that AFC Toronto penalty area. And I'm beginning to feel that sooner or later it's going to cost them. Tumeth looking to thread the needle much too much on it. Abdu gives up the chase, saves her energy. Rollins. Leaves it for Mana in the end, to the right-hand side. Zoe Burns, the right wing-back position for AFC Toronto. Stanton takes over in midfield for the home team. Runs for Yeka and Pante. Stanton says put it there. Pante ignores her. Stanton will get it now, but then gives it away. AFC Toronto trying the counter-attack. Jessica Cowart making sure it didn't happen, continues her run. A long way out of position. Now, can she make something happen from central defence? It was a energetic run forward, just overhit the cross. Reyes takes over. Glance up, trying to chip it in. Can they keep it in? They can. DeFilippo and Cowart still well forward, and then it's Abdu. First time, might have taken it down and steadied herself. I think she didn't realize she had a moment longer than she thought.
We're really seeing Abdu, as well as the rest of the Rise, knock on this door. They want a goal, and they are creating chance after chance. They found a lot of success with those little through balls, getting crosses into the box. Toronto's been struggling right now to really shut down their 18-yard box. They've been struggling to stay with their mark and shut down any dangerous opportunities coming from the Rise.
Barnett on the way forward for AFC Toronto. Unbeaten in the last three. You could make an argument they should have won all three of them, but points and the stats don't lie. Draws with Montreal and Ottawa. Nothing wrong with that, says the referee, despite the protests of Strategakis. Started with that big win against the Calgary Wild. Three games ago. Now throw for Barnett. Pressure from Bout. Barnett. And then Tumeth dispossesses Strategakis. DeFilippo early made her mind up. Get it out to that left-hand side for Pante. Natural left footer. Well read. Small. Turning as Hunter makes her way forward. Coming up to the half hour at Swangard Stadium in Burnaby. DeFilippo with a good tackle. Abdu thought about it herself and about further forwards. Why didn't she take it in stride and keep going? She's got it back again this time. Reyes looking to swing it in. Abdu tried to take it first time. Unsuccessfully. It won't run for Stanton. A chance for the visitors to clear again. And Lauren Rowe will go herself. She's quick, you know. Much too far ahead of Hunter, who might keep it in. Was expecting to see the goalkeeper appear there, but she didn't. Kaylee Hunter up against Suri Yeka.
Hunter with some great pace, but Yeka as well.
The run all the way to Barnett. Forder again for the captain, Small. Nikki Small in the area, trying to think about curling a shot. DeFilippo needs to be strong here. It's pinging around on the edge of the area. The referee's whistle has gone. It won't count. Referee saw an infringement. I think her arm went off for offside, but it certainly isn't a goal. The whistle was blown as the ball was travelling into Jessica Wolf's net. There might have been a foul on De Filippo.
Not really too sure what was called. I believe it potentially it was offside. I'm not too sure. I didn't see much contact as far as a foul is concerned in favor of the Rise.
It's well finished, but it won't count. More frustration for AFC Toronto. Now they've got some defending to do, big defending to do, but offside this time at the other end. Against Ularbi. And that one was much clearer.
Just a little bit over-eager from her. She's in the right areas. She's making the right run, but can she time it better? Can she potentially bring herself a little wider to then come in and make that diagonal run instead of making a straight run on a straight ball? Sometimes it's difficult to time your runs in those moments. So can she just buy herself a little bit more time to be able to time that better?
Rollins looking for the quick out ball, but not too far ahead of Barnett. Knowles into touch for the Vancouver throw, which Tumeth will take. Lauren Rowe, by the way, if you haven't been paying attention, has been in scorching form of late. 3 goals in her last 3 appearances. She scored against Ottawa, Montreal and Calgary. Compare that, Jess, with her stats in 2025. Just 2 goals in 13 appearances. Talk about streaky strikers.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Come back to that in a moment as Bout tries to put it across, and Abdu was trying to get there again. And some last-ditch defending from Brewster, I think, at the expense of a corner.
It's really well done from Brewster. We're going to take another look here. Jess Cower gets this ball over top and about, using that pace that we spoke about. She's normally in the right position, plays that early ball in, but Jordan Brewster comes up huge and times that slide tackle to not allow Latifa Abdu to get to it first.
Abdu is getting closer and closer. She is really putting herself about. And as I mentioned a little earlier, becoming a thorn in the side as Stanton takes the corner. It is headed by De Filippo wide of the far post. She got up well, got a clean header on it. She couldn't direct it on target.
She normally does. That's one of her biggest strengths. I think it's something that helps sets her apart from other forwards in this league and just in general. It's not an easy thing to have such great aerial play, her ability to go up strong, her body positioning, and then she normally makes really good contact and she's quite precise. This one not able to stay on target, but you also see Kaylee Hunter go down, so hopefully she's back to her feet and all is well.
Certainly seems to be trotting okay now. Kaylee Hunter there in the middle of your screen with the pink boots on. So no lasting damage done. And about seen plenty of the ball in this first half. Brings in De Filippo, Tumeth for Cowitz and Yeka. Drop of the shoulder. Yeka. Stanton needs to make it, doesn't. Strategakis. Feeds Small. Now out to that right-hand side. Zoe Burns. Safety first.
You mentioned Lauren Rowe earlier, Nigel, and the form that she's been in, and
Yeah.
I think that, I'm going to be picky for a second. I think that she's a player that has made such huge growth this year, being able to step into this starting role, her ability to find spaces, she's become stronger, she's so dangerous with her pace. And you're saying she's been scoring goals, absolutely, but there's been more opportunities, so she still has to clean some things up when it comes to her finishing and that final decision. Can she slow her brain down just a little bit at times, maybe not moving as fast as those quick feet that we know she has, so that she can find the back of the net on more occasions?
Your old teammate and a little bit of discomfort there, Colby Barnett. Here was the corner. Oh, well, maybe we're not going to see it. Cathro, though, will take the free kick, which I'm sure we will see for AFC Toronto. Plenty forward to aim at. Takes it short. Into the area it goes, looking towards the far post. It is the opening goal. And AFC Toronto, almost out of nothing, have got their opening goal. Wolf couldn't deal with it, and on the far post,
Right on cue.
Lauren Rowe again. 4th goal in as many games. She's changed the color of the headband. I was hesitant to call her name, but it is Toronto FC
Well,
who opened, AFC Toronto who's opened the scoring.
Well, they opt to play short, and then you see Chisholm play this great ball in. Lauren Rowe's in the right place at the right time. She takes that touch towards goal. I'm not sure she was trying to strike that on frame, but she did exactly that. She made sure to get a touch on it. She made sure that it wasn't going into the back of the net, it was in a place that someone else could, and you saw Stratigakis ready. So this is a player that's hungry. That is something that Lauren Rowe brings. She brings that fierceness and that in that attack, and she's such a bright young talent, and I think she's only going to continue to get better from here.
As you said, right on cue. So make it 4 goals in as many appearances for young Lauren Rowe from Conception Bay South, Newfoundland and Labrador. And that's a mouthful in itself.
You did really well.
Abdu again. Abdu again couldn't hit the target. Mana was beaten this time. And Abdu disappointed. She knows should have worked the keeper there.
And this is what we talk about when we say that Latifa Abdu is ready to pounce at all times. She had more time. She could have taken an extra touch. She could have gotten herself a little bit closer, settled herself, and played that into a corner past Manor. But instead, she opts to play that ball from far. It's well struck, but she does get underneath it. It's a little bit more difficult to beat a keeper from that distance. So can she keep going forward?
Vancouver ball. As the Rise look to respond. Ularbi slow to rise. Zoe Burns getting a lecture from the referee. Another big opportunity for Vancouver. They've seen a number of chances spurned in this first half. Mana's made a couple of big saves. And on other occasions, the finishing hasn't been good enough. Will that change right here? Ularbi, who was fouled, will take the free kick. Now, is she looking for a teammate, or will she take it on herself? Ularbi trying to curl it, does so! My goodness me! She did take it on! A nice Ularbi scores for the 2nd game running. 9 minutes before half-time. Mana caught out. It's 1-1 in Burnaby.
Oh my goodness. What a fantastic goal. She strikes this so well with just the right amount of pace and technique. You see that curve on the ball. My favorite part is the celebration. You can see how happy her teammates are for her. But oh my goodness, what a goal from Ularbi.
2 appearances, 2 games, easy game soccer. Just 23 years of age. Scored her first NSL goal against the Halifax Tides. And now has doubled it against AFC Toronto. The lead lasted 3, maybe 4 minutes, no more. And we're all square at Swangard. Tumouth well forward, the Australian, trying to find Abdu, who was well positioned on or around the penalty spot. Cowart trying to keep the move going. Pante did well to turn away from pressure from Nikki Small. Goal scorer Ularbi. How must she be feeling?
Elated would be my guess, because that was a fantastic goal.
As she was shaping to take the free kick, there was something in her body language which just suggested to me that she was going to just go for it and try and beat Mana at the near post. And I could barely believe that she was actually doing exactly what I was thinking she might do, but she had the confidence to take it on, because there was a lot of teammates that she might have deferred to more senior players. But to have the confidence and self-belief to take on a free kick from that angle over the wall and beat the keeper as well, my good, that's some skill.
Yeah, especially as a player that maybe hasn't been seeing the biggest of minutes as of last year as well as coming into this year, right? We haven't seen too much of her, but when she has come in now, she is making sure that that spot is hers and she does not want to lose it. And when you do things like that, it definitely makes a case for yourself. So great confidence from her, great execution, and that's what we love to see, right? That's the exciting stuff that we watch the NSL for.
Well, I've got a feeling she might just have picked her place in next week's match. By the way, for the Rise, that means a trip to Montreal next Saturday and the start of a 3-game road trip. So a little over 5 minutes to go until half-time. And the game has exploded since the half-hour mark, with the expected protagonists, perhaps. Rowe for Toronto, Ularbi for the Rise. Olivia Chisholm had a really good game against Ottawa last time out. She was really driving them forward.
Another really bright and young player that's exciting.
Down the left it goes again, looking for Ularbi again. Have they seen it out? They have done, did just enough. But good pressure from the Vancouver goal scorer.
It's also well shielded out by Jordan Brewster there. Uses her body well, doesn't allow the Vancouver Rise to get on the other side of her.
Barnett has a little bit of room. Turning is Stratigakis. Hunter and Rowe ahead of her. Tumeth under no pressure. Stanton back for the Australian. Cowart. Square for Yeka. Pante just ahead of her on the left. Yeka decides to come back for Cowart. Pante's made her way a little further forward. It's Cowart for Tumeth. DeFilippo coming deep to get involved. Was that a foul? Referee says no. There might be a chance here for Hunter for AFC Toronto. Big save. Jessica Wolf came at a good height, but she had to be agile to get across to her left and push it round for a corner.
It's really well struck from Kaylee Hunter too. You see her get, there's nothing in that, Jesse DeFilippo trying to sell it, but Kaylee Hunter gets this touch off, strikes it well, but Jessica Wolf, my goodness, she has really stepped up to the plate every single time we've seen her in this starting 11. That's a great save, but now there's another opportunity for Toronto to get this ball back in the box and threaten.
Plenty forward. 4 or 5 in the area, a couple of others lurking with intent. Left-footed corner to be swung in. Rollins among the big players up from the back, hoping to get a glancing header on it, but the ammunition is yet to arrive. We've kept hold of it for the time being. Good hustle from Vancouver to push Toronto away from the danger zone and almost all the way back to halfway. Zoe Burns, just about the last player back, now chips it towards the edge of the area. Vancouver need to deal with this. Hunter was hungrier, got there first. They'll recycle out to the right-hand side. That's a decent run. Brewster, again, across the face of goal. Now Barnett's left-footed can swing it in.
Saw Stratigakis make that run.
Yep.
Could Barnett play that on the floor to her?
Yep.
She's right in that space. She's able to turn, and then she's right in front of goal. Can she strike from there?
Oh, Barnett She almost gave up on it, and then the ball stopped for her, so she said, okay, let's play it then. Rowe and Barnett. 1-2 to the frustration of Anna Bout. Small is fouled by De Filippo. 6 or 7 paces outside the penalty area.
We're seeing again that space. Sarah Stratigakis is wide open, standing in front of that back line. Colby Barnett can play that quick. Can she look up and recognize it quicker?
Wolf will construct the wall, which will consist of, well, I was going to say 5, perhaps 4. And Kaylee Hunter spots the ball down. And she certainly has the power and the ability from this sort of range. Hunter, wearing 11, still looking for her second goal of the season, takes a deflection and behind for a corner as we drift into 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of an entertaining first half.
We'll see it again here. She strikes this well, but the wall doing its job, not quite able to get it over top of the head of Surayeka.
Short corner, straight for goal. Punched by the goalkeeper, but it wouldn't have counted. Another offside signal from Miriam Marcotte. So free kick for the Rise inside their own penalty area to conclude this first half, in which we've seen a goal at either end in the space of 4 minutes. Lauren Rowe for AFC Toronto, and a wonderful free kick from young Anais Ularbi to draw the Rise level. Whistle goes for half-time in the sunshine at Swangard. Anais Ularbi, it's a goal worth seeing over and over and over again. She scored in back-to-back matches for the Vancouver Rise. Earlier, Lauren Rowe had scored 4 goals in as many games ruled square at the break.
I think we saw opportunities on both ends that should have been buried. Vancouver with the better of the chances. AFC Toronto waking up a little bit more at the end, becoming more hungry in the final third. But I think we're in for an exciting second half, Nigel.
I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of the scoring between the champions and the regular season winners from 2025. It's 1-1 at Swangard.
What is this?
Whew. Oh, like real glasses, like prescription?
No prescription, that's good.
Are they real?
No.
Okay, woo! We're like, are we biggie? We're gonna get you in a business mode because you're gonna elevator pitch why someone should be a fan of your team.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
60 seconds.
All right, this is gonna be good.
Hey you, are you looking for a new hobby? Well boy do I have the best one for you.
We'll start off nice and easy. McMahon Stadium, Olympic Stadium. Can't get any more rowdy than that.
Family. Who doesn't love a family feel?
I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. I'm not gonna take up 18 minutes of this video to tell you should come support Toronto, because you should already know that you should support Toronto.
And you know where you can get that? The Halifax Tides.
Our players, incredibly talented, incredibly inspiring to watch.
Do you like sports? How about women's sports? If you don't, it means you just haven't even watched them yet.
The people on the team are amazing. Olivia Scott, number 18, is super cool. She's a great center back. Watch out for her.
Why not come out in July? Stampede, biggest rodeo in all of North America. We got cowboys, cowgirls, country singers, rappers, music artists. Best thing yet, Wild also plays during the 2 weeks Stampede is on, so you can go to Stampede all day, come party with the Wild all night.
If I was you, I would definitely pick an NSL team that is nearest to you, or just pick the Vancouver Rise.
Representing the Maritimes, representing the East Coast.
We wear really cool colors and have a lot of fun stuff going on at the game, a lot of giveaways.
Come out, go tailgate with the Storty family in the parking lot before the game, and make sure you come say hi to me after.
Why wouldn't you want Toronto? We have Drake, Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, ketchup chips.
Watch the Tides make a statement, because the tides are turning.
I love that. You knew what you were doing with that
down.
Yeah.
I like to keep everyone on their toes.
I don't know. Skip. Can we go back to it?
One word for 2026.
Growth. Excited. Legendary.
Baller. 2 words for 2026 round 2.
The vibe in our locker room is
Young.
killer.
The vibe is good. Yeah, the vibe is really fun.
Immaculate.
The vibes in our locker room is just fun.
Most underrated teammate.
Ooh. Underrated teammate. I just met them.
I think JC is an incredible player in our back line. I think she's going to be really exciting this year.
Annika Tog. I think she's a great goalkeeper, and everybody should get to know her more.
Honestly, Shalom Vivo, but is she underrated? I don't know. She's properly rated. Probably the twins. They could be together.
Flo. You just like her personality, you would never know until you get to know her, and then she's like quite literally one of the funniest people you'll ever meet.
So you got to pick one of your teammates who's taking the last shot.
I did 20 with my eyes closed.
Annie for one last shot. She's solid.
Maggie.
Phoebe Pridham.
Teddy Boychuk.
Olivia Scott.
The league better watch out for blank.
Ottawa Rapid. Montreal Roses 2026.
Us.
For Vancouver, like, obviously.
The league better watch out for the Tides.
Halifax Tides, new team this year. Calgary Wild. The league better watch out for Vancouver because we're ready to rise.
We're going to end off
You
on
like
I
that
love
one?
that. You knew what you were doing with that one. Yeah. The NSL is blank.
Inspiring.
An amazing group of incredible women.
It's a great place to showcase Canadian young talents.
La Liga te inspiró. The NSL is a dream come true.
The NSL is powerful.
The NSL is now.
Half-time at Swangard Stadium. It's week 10 of the Northern Super League presented by BMO, official bank of the NSL. It all finished after 45 as we started, all square. There were goals, obviously, at either end of the field. There were plenty of chances as well, but the goals came close together, Jess Lisi, just after the half hour.
Yeah, I mean, we see this first goal from Toronto. They struggled a little bit in the final third early on, but Lauren Rowe able to get on the end of this, and it actually deflects off of Jessica Cower. We didn't mention that in the game. We didn't realize it, but that's well done from Lauren Rowe. Nonetheless, she gets into the right spot. She gets her foot on it, and in the end, it gets into the back of the net.
So Toronto AFC Toronto, I beg your pardon, getting that go-ahead goal just after the half-hour mark, but Vancouver Rise responded in quick measure. Look at this.
I mean, this is going to be up for goal of the season. This is really well done from Ularbi, a young talent, a player that maybe hasn't been playing the minutes that, you know, throughout these last 2 seasons, but my goodness, was she able to capitalize on that. She struck it so well. She executed it perfectly.
Talking of capitalizing, Latifa Abdu, the figurehead for Vancouver Rise. Plenty of opportunities for Abdu in the first half. Here's just a few of the opportunities she created, but couldn't get the ball into the back of the net.
You could see her frustration growing as that half went on. Every time she missed an opportunity, she knew that she had to bury these. I think she's going to find herself with these opportunities a bit more in the second half as well. She's done well to find that space. She's been making herself a nuisance. She gets herself into the spaces she needs to be. She uses her pace well. She uses her physicality well, but she most definitely needs to clean it up in that final third. Nigel, can she find that clinical edge? Can she do it? We know she can, so it's a matter of actually going out there and putting that final piece of the puzzle together.
I think we know the answer. I think we know that she can. We've seen her do it before, and it wouldn't surprise either of us to see her do it again in the next 45 minutes. Plenty of entertainment in front of goal. Rise had those more attempts, a lot of them, as you saw, falling to Abdu and edging it on shots on target. But it is all square at half-time at Swangard Stadium. Vancouver Rise and AFC Toronto. It's 1-1 after 45.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? Nah, I wasn't looking for it.
Yeah, chef.
Yes, chef.
Everyone watches women's sports because why wouldn't you? Because it brings us together.
It's competitive and exciting and new and fresh.
The women who play are so competitive, so tough, fierce, and just leave their emotions all out on the field.
Everybody watches women in sport because we're the best.
Everyone watches women's sports because greatness has no gender.
Because we're a bunch of badass athletes and we love to compete and we're just fun to be around.
Because it's fun and exciting.
Tout le monde regarde le sport féminin parce que les femmes ont eu besoin de briser beaucoup de barrières pour arriver où elles sont aujourd'hui. Donc ça vaut la peine qu'on les regarde et qu'on les encourage.
Everyone watches women's sports because they have good taste. And they should.
Because this is just the beginning.
And at the end of the day, I am proud to kick like a girl, play like a girl, and score like a girl.
First game. First whistle. First goal. First jersey. First autograph. First favorite player. First away game. First big win. First time thinking, that's gonna be me. Firsts help us move forward together. Toyota, founding partner of the first professional women's soccer league in Canada.
You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO, official bank of the NSL. Big news out of AFC Toronto this week. They have managed to persuade Canadian Olympic goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo to sign for them. Won't be available until next month, but a big coup for the Reds. Sabrina's been talking about her return to Canada.
Obviously, I'm at the back end of my career, and to have the opportunity to come home and finish out my career in Canada, it means the world to be in front of my family, close to my family and friends. Yeah, it's not something, like you said, I had ever dreamed of. I've been fortunate they've been able to fly and come catch some games, but to have them at every home game is going to just feel so special, and to see them in the stands, see my fiance in the stands, my extended family, I'm just so excited, and I think it's a way to give back to them. Oh my gosh, here we go. Because obviously I've been away for so long, and they've been so selfless in letting me live my dreams. So now to have them be at every game and it be so close, it's for me, but it's also for them as well. So yeah, being a part of a new league and a new league in Canada, and to create that legacy and to help build something really, or continue to build something really special here, and to leave my imprint in the best way possible. It's another way of giving back to soccer in Canada, and I'm honored to be a part of that.
The pride of Welland, Ontario, Sabrina D'Angelo, Olympian, World Cup athlete, on her way home to the Northern Super League. 24 caps for Canada, 11 clean sheets. Not much she hasn't done in the game. She will be a welcome addition, not just for AFC Toronto, but also to the NSL. Now, WestJet, where the game takes you. Let's take a look at Kaylee Hunter's Life Around Soccer.
Kick it to Hunter. Hunter going 1v1, looking for the strike. Oh!
I think from the moment I was 3 years old and I first touched a soccer ball, that's where it all began. There's not a day that, if it's a bad day, go play soccer. If it's a good day, go play soccer. Everything just turns to soccer. I've always kind of been the youngest on whatever team I play on. I think I come from a family of 3 older brothers, so I'm kind of used to being the youngest. I moved away when I was 15. That's when I moved to Vancouver, so it was a young age, and it was definitely a sacrifice leaving my family behind and kind of fully committing to the sport. Even I was at 15, I didn't know what kind of future that I had in it, but it was a sacrifice I was willing to make because I love the game so much. Definitely being with AFC, an older group of girls, I think gaining a lot of experience from the people I'm surrounded with has been super helpful. I enjoy being the youngest, and there's always jokes around that, but I think once I'm on the field and like the way I perform, I think I hold myself to high standards, and when you would watch, you wouldn't think that I'm that young.
Kaylee Hunter's super secret power is confidence. I think the confidence that she brings, like not being scared of anything at that age, is something not a lot of people know or see, or they just assume she's older because of the way she carries herself.
I think people looking at me as the future, I think it's a kind of motivation, being that they look up to me now, but me in a few years, if I keep on going the path that I am, how much I'm really capable of and how much I can change this game. So I try to focus on that and just being an inspiration for young girls and people around this country who realize that this league and what we're building here in Canada is so massive, and that this is only the beginning, that there's so much more potential for us, and it's only going to get bigger as the years go on. So I like to kind of be that person who people can look up to, and yeah, it's just a huge honor for people to say that about me, and it's something that I want to continue to be able to do for people, is allow them to look up to me.
Already a veteran of the NSL, that is Kaylee Hunter, and yet only 18 years old. That's what they're all playing for, the Diana B. Matheson Trophy, the big prize in the NSL.
Hi, I'm Diana Matheson, legend of the field and founder of the Northern Super League. Are you wondering where to watch Northern Super League matches live this season? Confused by TV networks, channels, streams, and schedules? You could visit nsl.ca and download the 2026 schedule to your smartphone, but who's got time for that? Not me. That's why we're introducing the 2026 Northern Super League game schedule hotline. Just dial 1-833-NSL Live and we'll tell you where to watch every match. It's simple, it's easy. It's like the opposite of AI. No, seriously, call it. They made me pre-record all the weekly messages, and we have like 80 matches.
Call the NSL schedule hotline now. 1-833-NSL Live. That's 1-833-NSL Live. It's free. It's real. And yes, you can leave us a message. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us your favorite team. Tell us why everyone should watch the Northern Super League. Call now. Find out where and when to watch and tune in.
A very warm welcome back to dear old Swangard Stadium in Burnaby, BC. It's a bright, sunny Sunday afternoon as we approach Canada Day. And we are watching Vancouver Rise battle AFC Toronto. Replay of the 2025 finale. 1-1 at half-time, and AFC Toronto making the first change. The introduction of young Ghanaian attacking midfielder Linda, who comes on for Olivia Chisholm. Perhaps Jesse to spark some offense, or more offense as far as Toronto are concerned.
Absolutely, and I think it never hurts to bring in some fresh legs. We know Linda is a very talented player, very technical, loves to get forward. And I think that's only going to help, right? We talked about how AFC Toronto has struggled a little bit to be clinical in the final third. Hopefully she can help add a bit of spark to the attack.
Linda Owusu Ansah, to give her her full name, just 19 years of age, Ghanaian U20 international, but likes to just go by Linda, so that's what we'll call her. Vancouver Rise, the champions, all in black. And attacking the goal to your left in this second half. Nia Pante just over the bar. She wanted to wrap her foot around it. I was maybe looking for Abdu on the far post, didn't quite get the delivery right.
Pante, another player that has really come alive when she gets into the final third. She does have some great pace. She leans back a little bit too much when she strikes. This ends up going over top of the bar. So can she keep her body over top of it next time to get that on frame, or get the ball potentially across to one of the runners?
I'm sure that will be the intent, as these two teams embark on a second half locked together at 1-1. They've met twice before this season and they've traded the points. One win for Vancouver, one for AFC Toronto. Toronto looking to extend their unbeaten run to 4 games. A win and 2 draws. Those 2 ties might well have been converted into wins. They weren't. Milanovic, the coach, bemoaning the lack of clinical finishing in the run-up to this game. Wants his players to finish the chances that they're creating. Well, you would if you're the coach, wouldn't you?
I'm sure the players are right on the same page. It's frustrating when you're getting the opportunities and you're not finishing, and we spoke about it before. Sometimes it's about taking the pressure off of yourself, because when you overthink and you're in that moment, you end up making a decision that even you're shocked of sometimes.
Small trying to keep the momentum going forward. And Zoe Burns takes over, left-footed, towards the edge of the area. It'll run all the way through, and Vancouver will have the chance to clear. No changes for Anja Heine-Muller at half-time. Talking of changes, Linda, as we mentioned already on, if you are late joining us, let me remind you that AFC Toronto have the potential to reintroduce Nigerian international Esther Okoronkwo, who can be a fearsome striker, has been out since basically week 2 or week 3 of the season with a meniscus injury, but she's back on the bench today, so Okoronkwo might just be a not-so-secret weapon for AFC Toronto late in the game.
She's most certainly been missed, her presence up top. She is somebody that brings so much to the attack, and not just in creation. We know she can score goals, right? But her ability to come off the front and live in those pockets, find those half spaces, use her physicality and play back to goal, it frees up players like Kaylee Hunter to get more opportunities, to break those lines and to get forward. And I think that is a part of the reason they've struggled a little bit in the offensive half so far this year. Losing her was a big loss, and they're still trying to fill that gap a little bit. So hopefully her return is great, and we get to see her shine.
Catherine Barnett trying to funnel down that far side. In the end, it all fizzles out, and it is a goal kick for the Vancouver Rise. Jessica Cowart recently won her 50th cap for the Philippines, who have qualified for the next Olympics and Women's World Cup as well. Hunter trying to turn in stride, inside, wants to get it on her right foot, does so, but drags it wide. Instinctive shot by Kaylee Hunter, but couldn't test the goalkeeper.
It's a nice little through ball from Stratigakis, well-timed run. Kaylee Hunter cuts back, which forces her to have to beat Yeka again for a second time, and she sort of crushes her angle there, ends up going wide. But can she go forward on that first touch initially? Can she strike it earlier instead of cutting back and again forcing herself to have to rebeat a defender a second time?
Just an early warning for Vancouver Rise, lest they forget how dangerous Kaylee Hunter can be. Burns on this near side. Brewster for Rollins. Brewster again trying to play it forward in the general direction of Rowe on that occasion.
And just another thing to make note of, I know I mentioned it at the top of the show, but you're seeing Nikki Small drop into more of that 6 role. She does get involved, but with the inclusion of Linda, she drops into more of that holding mid role to provide some structure for her team.
Forward it goes into enemy territory, but there are no Vancouver players in that particular region. Rollins for Cathro. No great urgency about AFC Toronto's work rate at the start of this second half. Rollins looking for the longer, more direct route forward. It's going to be a Vancouver ball. Tumeth wearing the armbands today in the enforced absence of Quinn. Coward for Yeka. Pante trying to take it first time. Momentary misjudgment.
Most definitely the right idea, but just not quite able to find the precision needed to keep it in bounds.
Pante's actually on loan from AS Roma in Italy. She's originally from North Vancouver, so knows this part of the world pretty well. To touch, referee says Toronto ball. Burns eager to get on with it, but needs a willing recipient. Down the line it goes, but straight out of play. And turned over. Pante up the line, couldn't get it over the head of Burns. Hunter trying to turn quickly again. Yeka. Cowart calm under pressure. And again, Pante, second time in less than a minute that she's failed to control, and she knows it.
Yeah, you see her immediate reaction.
Can't dwell on those things.
Nope, always a next task mentality. That's exactly what it takes to just continue to strive and grow forward. It's going to happen. Everyone on that field is going to make a mistake.
Volleyed forward. Now can Hunter get in behind here? Well, she might have done had Wolf not spotted the danger smartly off her line to smother. And bowls it out. Tumeth, Stanton rarely gets through 90 minutes. It's going to be a Vancouver free kick on halfway. Rollins a little over eager in the opinion of the referee.
But we know that's going to be a feisty battle between Rollins and Abdu. Both of them love a good physical battle, and they do not back down. You can see here she's staying with Abdu, not allowing any time or space. Abdu with a little trip at the end as well.
Pressure from Pante this time. Cleared out of play. And a throw for Vancouver. Deep inside Toronto territory. Pante with it. Rowe helping out defensively. Little aimless going forward, easy for Cowart, and all the way back for Wolf. Yeka had to just reposition that time. Needs to be a little bit careful under pressure from Lauren Rowe. You don't want to give the ball away to a player in the form of Lauren Rowe. Again, Yeka and Rowe battling shoulder to shoulder. Rowe might just end up winning this. Well, Zoe Burns does for Toronto, and suddenly they're on the attack again. This is Linda. Dispossessed quickly, but fairly. Now Abdu turning, surging run. Fans sense something at Swangard every time she gets the ball. Out and to Filippo. This one comes to nothing. Small, careful with the ball. And up in field. That was late from Abdu. It's not her first defence of the afternoon. The referee decides that no further punishment is needed. Ten minutes gone in the second half. Cowart, important header. Here they come again.
Well done and well blocked from Cowart. Doesn't allow Lauren Rowe to get that shot off.
Not there, says the referee. Just ushering Burns back a little bit. This was the shot and the turn, and Rowe. And you're right, Cowart, right place, right time.
But also want to give props to Sarah Stratigakis in playing that creator role. She's done it a few times. We've seen her play those little balls through, those little slip balls. Lauren Rowe did well to find that space, get on it, and have enough time to turn and get a strike off. Again, Cowart coming up big, but those are the moments that you want to be able to create an attack.
Changes on the way. There's movement on the Vancouver bench, but not before this corner. Wolf did well. She was in traffic and had the confidence to claim it. Always makes defenders feel better, and your goalkeeper can be relied upon in those pressure situations when everybody's pushing and shoving and trying to get there first. Cowart for Yeka, helps it on for Pante, who we're hearing maybe subbed out in the near future. Abdu trying to get in behind, just a little too much on it. Rollins protected, and Mana might have got a kick on her knee there as Abdu tried to get the telling touch. I have a feeling that Abdu's day might almost be done fairly soon. Confirm that for you in a moment. That's what we're hearing from the bench, or the likelihood at least. And the changes are going to be made before the free kick. And Abdu indeed is off, as is Mia Pante. Yuka Okamoto, naturally left-sided, will come on. And Mighty Lopez will also enter the match alongside her fellow Colombian. Just 19 years of age, Mighty Lopez, on loan from Angel City FC, was number 23. So a definitive change from Anja Heine-Muller. Decided that Abdu has had maybe one chance too many, and it's not going to be her day.
Yeah, it's an interesting change, but I think sometimes too, we spoke about it on the Toronto side, but sometimes when a player is missing so many opportunities, they start getting their head, they start getting frustrated, and that could potentially be one of the reasons that they take her out. Potentially, they're looking at her, her stat, or not her stats, but her numbers, and she needs to recover more. There's so many things that go into coaches' decisions that we don't know about, and we're just simply watching and speculating over here. But she definitely had quite a great day. Just wasn't able to put that final touch on it to get it into the back of the goal, but she was by far the most dangerous player of that first half.
So Okamoto and Lopez are the fresh legs for Vancouver Rise. Brewster with the free kick. Low, getting, well, a tugging, shall we say, from Stanton. And yeah, Nikki Stanton can't really have too many complaints about the first yellow card of the contest.
You don't normally get away with it when you have the player's arm held with both of yours.
First yellow card of the day, second yellow of the season for Nikki Stanton, and that is why. Right under the referee's nose. Confirmation of the yellow for the Vancouver midfielder. Trying the up and over method. Needed some important defending from the substitute Yakamoto. As we approach the hour mark at Swangard Stadium. Still locked together, as we have been since the 37th minute, when Anais Ulabi lit up Burnaby with a wonderful, precise free kick from way out wide. It was good, too good for everybody. Yeka has tuned time to turn just as well, but can't find a teammate. Moto successfully appealing that it should be a Vancouver throw. And again.
Sorry, Nigel, but you see Milanovic very active today in his instruction on that sideline.
Straight out of play from Toronto. Now, wear your colours loud and proud. You can get your hands on the limited edition NSL Pride t-shirt at shop.nsl.ca. Well, you get the feeling that the next goal, sounds obvious, might be pivotal, but honestly, based on what we've seen, I couldn't pick at which end it might come.
No, I'm not sure either. I think that we've seen some momentum swings both ways.
Lauren Rowe, that's where it is. And this time, there is no question that Lauren Rowe has scored. She didn't get credited with the opening goal in the first half, but no question about that. She was left alone on the left-hand side, a breakdown defensively from Vancouver. And Lauren Rowe cashes in with her 4th goal of the season, and AFC Toronto are in front.
I mean, this is a great delivery from Manor. She recognizes she plays it quick. Lauren Rowe uses her pace, drives towards that end line and strikes it with her right boot, right past Wolf. Doesn't even hesitate. That's really well done from Rowe. And as you said, she wanted her name on that score sheet. She got it taken away on the first goal, but now she is here to stay. It's very well done.
Anya Heine-Muller will be asking questions about what happened defensively there, but you can't argue with the quality of Rowe's strike, given that she had time to take a touch, measure it, and just blast it past Jessica Wolf. So 4 goals in as many games for the Maritimer. What a run she's on. And now it is up to the Rise, the champions, to respond a second time. Here is Zoe Burns for Toronto. Turning was small, just overran it. Stanton takes it away, but then it is given away back to the blue shirts of AFC Toronto. Small again, will sweep it out for Burns, hugging the right-hand touchline. Burns forced backward. Shadagakis trying to turn. Wins the throw. Brewster gets us underway again. They want a corner, and they're going to get one. So more defending for the Rise, more pressure on the Vancouver goal.
Will we see another set-piece goal? We saw 2 of them in that first half. We know how much they can change a game. So this is another opportunity for Toronto to potentially get that 3rd goal.
Barnett takes responsibility for the corner. Natural left footer will try and swing this in under the crossbar. Decent delivery, free header, I think, for Linda from 10 yards out, but couldn't keep it down.
She ducks so low that she actually ends up getting underneath that ball and raising it, and you'll see it again here. It's a great delivery in. She does time it well, but unfortunately she does come back up through the ball and changes the momentum of the ball to go over top of the bar.
And harmlessly behind for a goal kick. Esther Okoronkwo, we mentioned a little earlier on, she is back fit and she is back on the field for AFC Toronto. Kayla Hansen is also on as a substitute, as she was last weekend against Ottawa. Strategakis and Brewster give way for AFC Toronto. Welcome back, Esther Okoronkwo. More problems to deal with for Vancouver. There is Esther Okoronkwo, who's been out, as I say, since week 3 of the season. We're dealing with a meniscus injury, or to you and me, a knee injury. But she has finally been nursed back to fitness by the medical staff at AFC Toronto. And I'm sure raring to go. Did you ever have an injury that kept you out for a few weeks? And do you remember how you felt when you finally were allowed to get back in the team and get at it again?
To be honest with you, I was very blessed throughout my career to not have anything that kept me out for too long. I normally was out for a week or 2 max. But yeah, I think that it's always great to see people return to play and be healthy, and especially when they're players that have made such a big impact.
Linda and De Filippo coming together right there. De Filippo is not the sort of player to shirk a challenge. She's not afraid to put a body around, and the referee decided it's a yellow card for the Vancouver striker.
It is
and
late.
That, by the way, is her 4th yellow card of the season.
Just a bit late from her.
Yeah.
You see her make contact with the ball and then go through Linda.
Right. So she's got to be a little careful, because 5 yellow cards equals a suspension, and as I say, that is yellow card number 4 for Jess. Right there, yeah, with her elbow after the ball had gone, turns round, tries to protest her innocence, and the referee is far too experienced to have any of that. Linda is none the worse for the contact with De Filippo. Vancouver making a change of their own, offensive change. Return of Mariah Lee is going to take over from goal scorer Anais Ulabi. Have another look at this. It's well worth it. How about that for technique, confidence, belief, and just getting it done, Jess?
She definitely got it done. She put her team on the board, and it's quite a way to stamp your name in that starting 11 going forward.
Burns, pass from Okoronkwo, her first involvement. Confirmation of the change then. So Ularbi out, and Mariah Lee, wearing 9, takes over. So the 2 number 9s are now on the field. Lee for Vancouver, Okoronkwo for AFC Toronto. A little over 20 minutes to play. Toronto twice in front, but penalised here.
Jessica Coward not too happy with that call.
Toronto into the area. They've dealt with it, Vancouver, for the time being, but they need to be playing up the other end of the field and causing more problems defensively for AFC Toronto. And about Linda trying to dispossess Reyes. Moving forward as a hunting pack, Vancouver rise. Stanton forced backwards for the time being. Cowart for Yeka. All their teammates ahead of them. Can they play it right? About just heavy touch from Bout. Yeka has time to recover. Wolf also has time, fortunately. Tumeth. Well, it's neat and tidy, but it's not hurting Toronto right now.
No, it's not, and I think that the ball needs to be moved with more pace amongst that back line and moving forward, because that's the only way you're going to stretch a Toronto team that right now is looking to have that defensive organization. That was what their goal was coming into this game. It's what they've been focused on. They did not want a repeat of the last time these two teams met, so they have to move the ball with pace, Vancouver. That's the only way you're going to break down this team, and then can you have that great movement off the ball?
Handball, spotted by the referee. Yeka, touch inside, just about held on to it, but Zoe Burns reacts quickly for the visitors. Cathro all the way back to Mana, who hasn't had a lot to do in this second half.
No, she certainly has not, except assist that second goal.
Well,
it's quite a contribution.
Well, I, as an ex-member of the Goalkeepers Union, applaud her for her involvement. Maybe down the right-hand side, Barnett did what was necessary at some cost. She had a little problem earlier on with the right foot. Maybe it's the left one this time. No, she's favouring the same foot. But she had to make this tackle, Jess.
She certainly did, and it's very well timed. You see that discomfort afterwards, but she was not showing it when she did go down. She did everything she needed to, put her body on the line to make sure nothing could come of that.
Okoronkwo back, helping out defensively, as opposed to the offensive target point. But just goes to show, you know, you defend as a team, you attack as a team. That's what coaches like to see. Inside the last 20 minutes, Swangard Stadium. Toronto been twice in front. Can they hold on? They let it bounce. That can be dangerous, referee says. It's going to be a Toronto ball, despite the protests of Mariah Lee and others. Listen to the fans, jeers ringing around Swangard Stadium. They wanted the free kick to go the other way.
I mean, there is a very clear and blatant foul there on the back of Hansen from Lee. Can't argue that. We love to hear the fans try to argue it, but she most certainly went through the back of Hansen.
When it comes to the stats count on the fouls, as you can see, Vancouver have been somewhat more aggressive or less legal, depending on how you want to interpret that. But the real stat that counts is the one at the top left-hand corner of your screen. And Mana quickly off her line, as Mighty Lopez was closing in, the Colombian.
Not enough space in that moment to be able to play that slip ball through. Manners right there. You're inside, you know, her territory. You're inside the 18. She's going to come out. She's going to be able to contest that. So can you go yourself in those moments? Can you have the confidence to do that? Or potentially start again and recirculate? But you have to be able to create something more dangerous off of those opportunities in and around the 18.
Forward it goes. Reyes. Filippo urging her players forward. We know she can do the damage if she's given time and opportunity to do so. Stanton has got through a shift in midfield. Reyes again. This is promising from Vancouver. Can they play it right? Filippo tried to take it in stride. She was just stretching, couldn't control it. Cowart across to cover defensively.
Well, we saw it in the first half, and we're seeing it a bit here. This touch just getting away from DeFilippo, but we've seen the chaos that Vancouver was able to cause early on in this matchup with getting balls crossed into the box. Toronto struggling a little bit within their own 18 to really control and regain their structure, staying man-to-man, reading where they need to be. So can they continue to get those balls in the box to really test this Toronto back line?
Surieka's day is done. She's replaced by the returning Kennedy Faulkner, having served a one-match red card suspension. Natural centre-back Faulkner, and quickly involved, wearing number 16 and directing operations at the back.
Nice little fun fact, Faulkner was actually a stud striker back in the day.
Get out.
Yeah, she was quite special. She was she was fantastic up front. She was the leading goal scorer, I believe, in her age group for quite a while.
I've got another fun fact for you in a moment about Kennedy Faulkner. As Wolf comes and just gets something on it. It wasn't terribly convincing. Rowe for recycling into the area, and again Wolf didn't get there, but the referee's whistle is gone. And that brings the danger for the time being to a close. Kennedy Faulkner, fun fact number 2, it's her 27th birthday this coming Tuesday.
No way.
Way.
Well, hopefully she's able to get on the scoreboard,
Yeah,
or
wow.
you know, get a win today potentially. Maybe not the scoreboard, but a win. That would be a pretty great early birthday present.
That's exactly what she wants. She doesn't need cake and candles.
No, overrated.
It's almost there for Lopez. Couldn't quite thread it through. Stanton picks it up. Shumath. Back it goes, and Faulkner wants it, and Faulkner will get it. And somewhat overran it. Got a second chance and will actually win the throw-in for the Vancouver Rise. But time is beginning to tick, isn't it?
It certainly is.
They haven't created a great deal in this second half. You think of all those opportunities. Many of them fell to Abdou in the first 45. They really haven't replicated that since half-time.
Well, we've also seen a bit of a decline in intensity up front with Abdou being taken out, right? Her ability off the ball as well is something that is really admirable, and the pressure that she applies when she's off the ball, even defensively, it causes a lot of turnovers. So a bit of a change up there in momentum as well. Again, she wasn't clinical enough for them when she was on the pitch, but she was definitely helping to create.
Oh, she was, without question, and I'm sure she will leave this game feeling disappointed that she didn't take at least one of those chances. I think she knew that, you know, you're only going to get so many, and eventually if you don't, you're going to get yanked. Faulkner trying to play it forward, took a deflection off Linda, but Vancouver still have the ball, and now another deflection takes it out of play for a corner. And the fans begin to find their voices again.
As they should. We know Vancouver's very dangerous on set pieces. You have players like Jess DeFilippo in there who contest every single ball that comes into the box. If it's an aerial ball, she is getting on the end of it. So can she do that now? Can she equalize this matchup?
Nikki Stanton is something of an expert at these set pieces. But can she find the right delivery when she needs it? A little bit of air underneath it. DeFilippo trying to get there. It's bouncing around. Referee has stopped play. Okoronkwo was back there doing some defending. And it looks as though AFC Toronto have got the benefit of the referee's doubt.
You also hear Okoronkwo speaking about the fact that her braids might have been pulled. So I think that's what where the foul might have come from. And you also see DeFilippo didn't argue that time, so there must have been some truth in it, potentially just got caught up.
Well, he wouldn't argue it if you were on a yellow card, that's for sure, which DeFilippo is.
That's very true.
We'll say no more than that. Okoronkwo at the other end of the field where we're used to seeing her, playing it in field, just towards the edge of the area. Hunter and Okoronkwo. What an offensive duet that might be, and that's not even talking about Lauren Rowe, who scored again today. Okoronkwo, clever skills. It's going to fall to Hunter. Wolf did well, but it was a juicy rebound. Burns to recycle. Rowe, small, I believe. It is small. That's clever from Burns to take it in stride and turn. If they could get a 2-goal cushion, that might be enough for AFC Toronto, and frankly they look the more likely team to score.
Yeah, they definitely do, and I think that the addition of Okoronkwo, you're already seeing how much attention she takes.
So Lee broke loose on the far side.
And speaking of Okoronkwo, you can see it, right? She's looking up. She's saying, everybody calm down. She's got this. Nice little cutback. And she finds Kaylee Hunter, who's wide open, and ends up striking this towards goal. Another dangerous opportunity. Fun little partnership that they've been able to create over the last 2 seasons. They're always on the same page, and they really balance each other out strength-wise.
Okamoto just wide. Filippo again picks herself up. She was just stretching backwards, but it was a decent ball.
Good delivery in, back post. DeFilippo times her jump. She does redirect that towards the area of goal, but isn't quite able to get it straight on frame. Manners ready as well. Not enough power behind it to really test her.
Rather like Abdu in the first half. The chances are piling up for DeFilippo in the second. Can she or one of her teammates take advantage and draw the rise level in the last 10 minutes or so? Chloe Uttenberg and April Lantain, last 2 substitutes for AFC Toronto. Cathro and Rowe will be spectators for the remainder of the game. Toronto have used their full allotment of substitutes, at least by my reckoning. Stanton trying to help it on. Referee was looking to play the advantage, in the end forced to blow the whistle. Vancouver have got to get on with it quickly. Mana on the edge of her area, she couldn't handle it, and now looking for the chip. Living dangerously defensively, AFC Toronto got away with it. More by good luck than good management, I feel.
Yes, that was a very risky decision for Manor to be able to come out there just outside of her 18. Well, she has a bunch of very talented Vancouver forwards running right at her.
7 minutes of regulation time remaining, plus whatever referee Miriam Marcotte chooses to add. Week 10. Toronto FC, AFC Toronto, I do beg your pardon, looking to rise above Vancouver in the standings in the NSL, presented by BMO, official bank of the NSL. Okamoto couldn't hold on to it. There's a tug on the shoulder, referee will play the advantage. Okoronkwo into the area, stopped initially, happy to play possession for the time being, and wins the corner, eats a few more seconds off the clock.
The immediate double team from the rise to ensure that she's not able to get that ball in the box or not get a shot off. But she does so well to drift and find that space.
I'm not sure that she was that bothered about whether the ball went into the box. I think she was just teasing the defenders and said, okay,
You're
come
not
and get the ball.
wrong.
I'll just keep hold of it, eat some more questions. We'll see. In this position, with her team leading by a single goal, and a chance perhaps here to extend their advantage as Lantain will take the corner, left-footed towards the near post. Dealt with initially, but it'll come back to Lantain, the substitute. Left-footed again, and Wolf came and barely made it. And Toronto players getting in each other's way, and the referee is going to stop it because there is a Vancouver player down who is going to need medical attention, as that ball was swung across a moment ago from Lantain, and perhaps a clash of heads, something like that right there.
Oof.
Or an awkward fall.
It's quite a hard fall.
Yeah, is that Cowart perhaps? No, I'm not sure.
I do believe it is, yes.
You think so?
Yes, it looks to be. You saw Jessica Wolf come up to contest that ball, try to get a hand on it. You also had AFC Toronto players getting up, as well as Cowart trying to get that out of the box, and just lands really hard on.
It is Cowart. Yeah, it wasn't, as we suspected, it might be a clash of heads. It was just the way that she fell and was somewhat unable to cushion that fall. Felt really awkwardly, did Cowart. Anya Hainamola in the closing moments, trying to explain some tactics to her players that might prove beneficial and might just lead to an equaliser. But the time is ticking away. Of course, all these moments will be added on as stoppage time or injury time, whichever you prefer at the end. But clearly Cowart needs prolonged attention. Just have a look at the moment at which AFC Toronto re-established the lead in the second half. And you talked about goalkeeper assists. Here's Sophia Mana right into the path of Lauren Rowe. One touch, bang, 2-1. Have another look. This is from the goalkeeper's perspective.
It just shows you that from that goalkeeping angle, you see a lot of the pitch and you're able to find those spaces. It was so well done, well executed, long ball, and Lauren Rowe did everything that she should do. It was quite perfect from her perspective. Nice touch, and then drives it home.
Cowart holding that left shoulder, which bore the brunt of the fall as she went to ground. Kaylee Hunter looking on. The question is, will Cowart be able to continue in these final few moments? I do believe that Vancouver have one more substitute to use, should they need to. Maybe Jaylin Wright, who's a natural defender. Applause for Cowart. She is led away and she looks in considerable discomfort. So Vancouver may be forced to make a late change here, Jess.
It is looking that way. She seems to be in quite a bit of discomfort, where I don't believe that she's going to be able to continue on, hunched over in a lot of pain.
So Cowart is led away by the medical staff. Sympathetic applause. Drop ball to restart. And for the time being, Vancouver rise down to 10 players. Now, will they have a chance to make one more change as we move into the final minute of the 90? Linda helping it back to one of her teammates. Forward towards Okoronkwo. That was a high boot, surely. Okamoto. No substitutes is forthcoming for the Vancouver Rise. You're only allowed to use your changes, just perhaps you can explain this, in groups of 3. And that third opportunity has come and gone, I understand, for Vancouver Rise, even though, by my reckoning, they have only used 4 of those permitted 5 changes. I'm sorry if that sounds a little convoluted, but rules is rules, as they say.
Yeah,
so
if it was a head injury, that they would have been able to make that sub. So that's frustrating for them. Obviously, they have their 6 minutes that they have to wind down now. Can they potentially get something on the board, or are they just going to be able to finish this game out strong and control the play and not let the scoreline change anymore?
Well, without one of their stalwart defenders, if not their standout defender in Jessica Cowart for the remainder of the game, we wish her the best, because that Looked like a really painful shoulder injury. Question is, can Vancouver survive with 10 players? Can they even prosper and fashion an unlikely equaliser? That's what they're going to try and do. But they've got to be defensively minded. They can't just go gung-ho. Okamoto back for Bout, who's traded flanks. Linda was in close attendance. Might it fall for Lee? On out of play it will be. Toronto ball. He couldn't quite get the shot away before the challenge came in.
Truthfully, I think it's easy at this point of the match to really count the rise out. You're a man down. You're thinking that you're not going to be able to switch that momentum in your favor. But sometimes things like this happen. Sometimes the ball drops at the right moment, and obviously that didn't come off, but we did see some hecticness and some chaoticness despite being down a man. So can they have attacking balance? That's huge, though.
Hunter on the charge. Kaylee Hunter to finish it. Has done. Clinical fashion, and finally Kaylee Hunter delivers, and has probably delivered all 3 points for AFC Toronto in stoppage time. And the visitors lead in Vancouver by 3-1.
You see that relief in Hunter's face. She's been doing so well this season, but just has been struggling with that final product. So super happy for her to be able to get on the board, but you see her do so well here. She uses her pace, a little bit of cheekiness to get that ball in and around the Vancouver defense. Cuts back inside and then strikes it to that near post. So well done from her. Clinical, which is exactly what we know Kaylee Hunter is capable of. So very well done. Great goal. And it's great to see her scoring again.
Her only other goal this season against her hometown, Calgary Wild. Finally back on the score sheet. And who knows, the floodgates might just open in the coming weeks for Kaylee Hunter.
It's very possible. As I said, I've seen it happen so many times. I've also been in that situation where you're just frustrated, you're in a rut, but you're doing everything right, but that final product is not quite falling for you. And then once you get it, you have that confidence, it's back, you're confident to take the shots, to put yourself in those positions, and it just continues to get better from there.
From this position, there should be no way back for the Vancouver Rise. Hunter again leading the charge, and Okoronkwo is goal side and onside and has a real chance to make it for off the crossbar. Following in Hunter, there was a challenge which apparently was fair according to the referee. Well,
Okoronkwo just driving forward, and instead of continuing, she actually notices that Wolf is coming off her line. She's attempting to come out, so she tries to chip her. It ends up going off of the crossbar. But what a fantastic goal that would have been. Some cheeky, intelligent play from Esther Okoronkwo, and you saw Kaylee Hunter following that up with great pace to try to get the rebound.
Worryingly, Vancouver are dissolving as a defensive unit. Okoronkwo was onside because she picked up the ball inside her own half of the field and had nobody between her and the Vancouver goalkeeper. So it could and perhaps should have been 4-1. In the meantime, all the way past everybody, and it will be a goal kick with just a couple of minutes of stoppage time remaining, and I think the jig is up for Vancouver Rise. And in the final analysis, Jess, AFC Toronto appear to be cruising to a victory here.
They certainly do, and in the first half we were having a very different conversation. The Rise came out, they were the stronger of the two teams as far as creating and having purpose in the final third. You saw AFC Toronto have moments and brightness, but not anything too great from them. In the second half, it's really turned, the tides have turned. They really have taken over control, and especially now, obviously being a man up, they've done really well to deal with it.
Just a few more moments, just perhaps one more minute. Hansen chips it forward, helped on by Okoronkwo, and again just hold on to the ball. Just possession will do, maybe more. Okoronkwo tries her luck. It was going wide, but Wolf wasn't prepared to take the chance.
It would be in true Okoronkwo fashion to come in after 6 weeks out and score a goal to put your team ahead. Well, obviously they are ahead, but just to get her name on that score sheet immediately after being off for so long.
The dying embers of an entertaining game. Swangard Stadium, where the champions are going to get beaten by the team that finished first in the regular season in 2025. Vancouver had their revenge in the championship finale. But after getting the lead, AFC Toronto pegged back. But they have finished strong. And they're going to take all 3 points back to Ontario.
We'll see that little trickster from Esther Okoronkwo. Nice strike on frame, but unfortunately not enough behind it to really test Wolf.
It's all over. Minia Marcotte blows her final whistle. AFC Toronto, 4 games without defeats. Kaylee Hunter back amongst the goals. All is well if you're a Reds fan.
Yeah, I think Coach Milanovic is going to be happy with that second half performance. Some things to clean up in the first half as far as that defensive organization and finding the back of the net as well with the chances created. I think it's a frustrating one for Vancouver. They came out on the front foot. They created a ton of chances. But in the end, when you're not clinical, it comes back to bite you. And that's exactly what happened here today. So a well-fought battle from AFC Toronto to stay in it to the final moment.
Okay, let's look at those goals, second half goals, which ultimately made the difference for AFC Toronto. The first one, well, Sophia Mana. You don't often see a goalkeeper credited with an assist, but you certainly did here, Jess.
Yeah, and it shows her IQ, right? You see Lauren Rowe is drifting into that space. She finds it well. She takes that touch forward. She continues to drive at pace, and then she strikes it home. She doesn't hesitate, and that's the confidence that you want from Lauren Rowe. She's been scoring goals, and I've been saying it. She's had chance after chance. Can she do it on a consistent basis? And she goes out there and she does something like that, and that's what you need from her. That's what you need from your strikers, the confidence and the bravery to just go and show what you're good at.
4th goal of the season for Lauren Rowe, and why wouldn't she smile? 4 goals in as many games. My goodness me. Kaylee Hunter also finally back on the score sheet late in the game. That'll do her confidence the world of good. And the 18-year-old gets her 2nd goal of the season as well to wrap up the points for the Reds, who win by 3-1 Stats, well, you'd have to say, based on what you're looking at there, AFC Toronto were worthy winners.
Yeah, they were. I think, again, it comes down to purpose when you have possession. We saw the Rise take over in the first half, but as the second half came about, AFC Toronto really stepped it up, and you see total shots 13, 5 of those on target, but in the end, when you are clinical, you win games, and that's exactly what we saw happen here today from AFC Toronto.
Rowe and Hunter make the difference in the second half. Here are the updated standings, and AFC Toronto and the Vancouver Rise switch places. Toronto into the top 4, the playoff zone if you like, and now 2 points ahead of the Vancouver Rise as a result of that victory, and 3 points to take back to York Lions Stadium. Marko Milanovic talking to his team. I'm sure it's a light-hearted talk from the coach. Week 11 coming at you next weekend, starting on Saturday in Laval, Montreal Roses against the Vancouver Rise. Then we're in the capital on Sunday at 2 Eastern for the Ottawa Rapid against Calgary Wild, still looking for their first win of the season. And later on Sunday, we're down east. That's the Wanderers grounds. Halifax Tides with a home game themselves. 4 more goals and a decisive victory for AFC Toronto against the champions in their own backyard. On behalf of Jess Lisi and our entire team, I'm Nigel Reid. Thanks so much for watching.